Okay, here we are. We're back at Steve's World. We're gonna get the old Dodge out of the garage today. As you may recall, we got the Silverado all cleaned up. Now we're gonna get the old the Dodge Ram, commonly known as the gross polluter. Last year, that 5.9 diesel, which of course a lot of folks like that. Oh, there's the Chevy. She's all cleaned up. Got the side pieces painted. So let's get this old Dodge out of the garage. Oh, I gotta go find some keys. Hang on a second. Okay. So let's get this old Dodge fired up here. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's turn that off. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can back her out of here without breaking anything. See, look at that rearview mirror. We just barely get out. We just barely get this stuff in and out of here, but we do. We get her done. So we're gonna barely miss that. Don't scratch up the Chevy over there. And okay, here we are. You know, I'm gonna spin it around and back her in. Bear with me. Oh yeah. This Dodge is dirty. Look at that. Gosh, when's the last time it was washed? I don't know, a year ago? She's a pretty good old truck. She's pushing about 300,000 miles. Just barely broke in. I think they say these 5.9 diesels just kind of start to break in at about 250,000 miles. So, as you can see, it's still pretty good shape. I got a little ding here at the back and a little bump spot over there on the side, but for the most part, it's a pretty good, solid truck. Pretty much all stock. I did put a tuner on it, and I put a aftermarket transmission cooler underneath it. It's like a big radiator with a fan and everything. It's underneath the body, up right by the transmission, not up by the radiator. You know, it has its original radiator type transmission cooler, but that only does so much. And basically what it does is it heats up your your transmission, because when the engine heats up, that transmission fluid's running through the same radiator as the coolant, and so it just warms up the tranny. So I can run my aftermarket cooler and keep my tranny at about 160, maybe 170 if I'm towing something big. Other than that, that's it. So I'm going to grab some hoses and soap, and I don't think you guys want to watch me wash this truck, but I'll circle back with you once I get her all cleaned up, and then we're gonna get that brake cleaner and get all that sap off of it, like the Silverado, and then we're gonna get some polish on it, and yeah, then we'll tuck it back into the garage for a while. So I'll circle back. All right, so we got the Dodge washed yesterday, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. I still need to go around it with the, remember how I did on the Chevy, the brake cleaner, and that will get all the sap off of it. I also noticed down here along the side, is still some leftover residue from stickers that I used to have on it when this was a company truck. But she looks pretty good. I do have some repair issues that I might want to take care of, but I'm going to go ahead and get some polish on it first. One of them is right over here. I backed into a pole in front of a gas station. It almost tore the pole out, one of those yellow poles, you know, they're really stuck in concrete. And I can't believe this is all it did to this truck. So it dented that in there. I also, when I rotated my tires once, I had a tire leaning up against the door here. And when I dropped the truck off the jacks, I didn't move the tire and it put this dent in the door. So I'm going to have to address that as well. But for now, I don't know if you can see it, but you see these outlines? That outline is from old stickers that were on this truck. So that brake cleaner should clean all that off, as well as any miscellaneous sap or road tar and all that kind of good stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get that cleaned up and then get some polish on it. And then I'll circle back around and we'll address these issues with the bumper, this little dent here on the side, and I got a few other things we got to play with on this truck. So that's what we got going. So I'll be back. Let me get some cleaner on this thing and we'll go from there. Okay, I just got finished making a lap around my truck using this brake cleaner method. Now, I just want to point out that, you know, this is just what I do with my trucks. These are some older work trucks. I'm not so sure about the newer paints that they're putting on vehicles nowadays, whether you can do that or not. So just want to say, you know, if you're concerned about it, always test it first. I did find some stuff, for instance, these bumpers. I touched this with that brake cleaner and you could feel it was getting soft and sticky. So I backed way off of it real quick. So, but the paint on the vehicle seems to be just fine. And there's a couple spots on this truck that I did do some touch up on, and it didn't pop that loose either. So I would say, you know, just use what's the word I'm looking for? Some judgment on this, and always test it first. Discretion. Okay, so as I mentioned previously, we finished up with all the cleaner process where we cleaned off all the sap and the tar and the marks left from the stickers, and we use this brake clean. Now, as I was mentioning, we want to advise everyone that this is what I do. Always test a spot, use a lot of discretion with this before you start doing your whole car. Test a spot down low behind a tire or something like that. So anyway, but it does a great job, I think, on cleaning off all those types of tars and bugs and things, sap and things like that. So now when it comes to polish or waxes, geez, there's just a cajillion of them out there. So now over the years, I used to be kind of fond of that new finish, once a year polish. Meguiar also makes good polishes, but I also found that this Meguiar cleaner wax I really like because it does act as a cleaner. A lot of things don't come off with one item, will come off with another. So I guess the rule of thumb they say is, my buddy that used to manufacture polish said, polish your vehicle twice a year, wax it once. I guess theoretically speaking, the polish actually absorbs into the paint, where wax tends to stay on top a little bit more. So, and then there's also a process that people refer to as you clay your vehicle. Now, claying basically is what they say. It's a ball of clay. Here, I'll show you one. Okay, you see in this bag? This is clay. It's like a big ball of clay. Now, I've had this clay a long time. It doesn't really go bad. I keep it in a baggie so it doesn't dry up, but you just just, you have a solution you spray on the vehicle, and then you rub that clay on. What the clay does, it gets all the fallout, I guess they refer to it as fallout, rail dust, little specks of metal that tend to get on the paint and kind of rust into it. So what the polish does and the waxes, it builds up a layer and it prevents those things from getting in there. And the way you tell is you just rub your hand across the surface. If you feel little stickly spots like sandpaper sticking up, you take and you rub that clay on there, it'll take it off. Now, what clay comes with a solution that they recommend you use, but I don't have any more of it, and I use this right here. This is Quick Detailer. It's a really watery type spray. And what I do, if I'm not going to polish or wax my vehicle after washing my truck, when I'm drying it, I'll actually spray this Quick Dealer on the surface of the vehicle while it's wet and rub it out. You know, just dry the vehicle. Let a little bit of polish soak into where it wants to soak in. What doesn't gets wiped off. I use just a small rag like this when I do it very often, you know, because it's not super wet. I'll blow it off first or something like that, or it's partially dry. And I just go around it with that Quick Detailer, and it does just what it says. It's a Quick Detailer. It'll detail it out for you. Especially afterwards, like on this vehicle, I didn't open the doors up and wipe down the doors when I was drying it. I just wanted to get into the cleaning process with the brake cleaner and the polishes. So what I'll do, once I start getting into the interior of this truck, I'll open the doors up, I'll take my Quick Detailer, and I'll spray down the inner rear rims or perimeters of the doors and the door openings, and I'll wipe it down with that Quick Detailer. It works great. I do my windows with it and everything. In fact, you can polish your windshields. And if you polish your windshield and even the rubber that goes around it, it's going to repel water much better, and it's also going to repel all that fallout or rail dust, however you want to refer to it. So anyway, that's my 4-minute product explanations. I wish all you guys the best of luck. You can always put something in the comment section if you have a comment you'd like to make about any of these products that I've used and how they work, or if you've tried them and you like the way they work, let me know. My goal in all these videos is just to try to reach out to folks. If you can learn one little item from each video you watch, I think that's a big bonus for your life. So we're going to move on and find some more stuff to do.